College is a place we arrive before we really know ourselves. We come carrying pieces of home and dreams we can't fully explain yet. Somewhere between early mornings, late nights, crowded rooms, and quiet walks, we start to grow into who we might become. Not all at once, sometimes in joy, sometimes in loneliness, no one else notices. Everyone here is figuring something out, how to belong, how to let go, how to grow. So I asked my friends what college has felt like so far, not the online version, the real one.
Can you introduce yourself, name, major?
My name is Zoe. I'm a sophomore and I'm an accounting major.
Hi, I'm Jack Bates. I am a sophomore here at Roger Williams, and I am the graduating year of 2028. My major is forensic science with a minor.
I'm Stella. I'm an engineering major with a core concentration in environmental engineering, and I'm a sophomore.
Well, I thought it was going to be a lot of labs because I came in as an environmental science major. Thought it was going to be a lot of work, but also still a lot of fun.
I was a little bit scared about college because especially Roger Williams is a smaller college, and I didn't really know what the experience was going to be like. It was kind of hard to predict, and I was a little bit scared about meeting new people and stuff and just that experience, but after orientation and stuff it was better. But going into it, I was kind of just free balling it, just see what happens.
College, I think, the way I viewed it before I got to college when I was in high school is very different, but it's also kind of the same as it was in high school. I thought college, because of the way media represents it and just the way I viewed people in college, I thought it was just really exciting adventure, and it is. It's very exciting, but it's I think the way the media presented it, it's you don't see much of the academic side in movies and TV shows. You see more of the social life, which I don't know if that social life is for me. But just hanging out with my friends, it's very because I was afraid that socially I wasn't gonna make any friends, and not socially awkward, but it takes a while for me to coax myself out of my shell. So once I actually made friends, I was oh, this place, it's fine. I don't know how.
Well, I was right for the first year. I did have a lot of labs and I did enjoy them, but then I ended up changing my major to accounting, so I wasn't really expecting that. And I still ended up having a lot of fun too, made a lot of friends, and yeah.
How has reality been different? For me, at least, it's been a different experience from high school going into college. The work is different. The deadlines are definitely more specific, where in high school is, you could do an assignment late and still get kind of a full grade. You have to be more on top of your work, and as someone who is still trying to get better at that, it's definitely a reality change for me. So that's one change in reality that I'm still getting used to.
I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't expect some of them to be as hard as they came out to be. But I keep pushing through, and I keep doing the work I can, putting my head down, and always trying to keep on track with everything. I mean, some things I expected I got in me. I knew I was gonna have to work harder, and I knew that was gonna happen. But it's a little bit of a shocker when you're oh, I did all the work, and I have to do more work, and you just have to do what you have to do. And I think I underestimated myself in high school. So seeing the things that I can do now, which is what I didn't think I was able to do, is really shocking and surprising.
I think the hardest part is just navigating friendships and relationships with other people, like professors and peers, because there's so many different personalities out there. So it's kind of hard to manage that all and learn how to work with a lot of different new people.
The most confusing part, or the hardest part so far, I think has just kind of been like figuring out my own schedule and like trying to do all the activities I want to do and the work I want to do, and just figuring out all that and like, you know, going into my profession more and how in depth I want to go and do my subjects, and balancing the work life, education, sports, and theater and other stuff.
I think I don't know if it's confusing, but to me, I think the hardest part sometimes is finding that like work-life balance. Is that like I think anyone can attest to that. Like you have your social life and you have your your studying, but you also have to like take care of your own self. But it's very much finding a happy medium, a good balance between everything. Because like now you're on your own, so now you have to take care of yourself. Like, I mean, you have the resources on campus, which I definitely try to utilize. Is that like now you're on your own, so you have to advocate for yourself. And like if you're not feeling well, no one's going to tell you to go to the doctor. You go to the doctor yourself. If like you're struggling, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to like make sure you have that balance where it's like you need to make sure your health is where it's at. You need to make sure your mental health is okay. While also trying to, you know, stay on task with all your classes, or also trying to hang out with your friends. Because if one of those things becomes too much to...
My favorite moments have been definitely with the Christian Student Fellowship that I'm a part of. Just like we had some trips last year, and just I feel like every single meeting is just so much fun. And I've made such like deep friendships and connections. So, yeah.
One of my favorite moments is definitely like many different moments. My favorite moments honestly in college is just like hanging out with my friends and like being with the people I like to be around and just having fun.
Some of my favorite moments are when I'm at theater and with my friends. Most of my friends are in theater with me. So, like, I love theater. I love everything from it. I love acting, the behind the scenes, all of it. Building sets. I love building sets. So some of my favorite moments come from those things where it's like the most like unexpected places where we're all just, you know, cooped up in the barn or the annex or whatever, and we're just like trying to put on a show, putting things up. And it's, you know, those little moments where it's just like, you know, you become friends with the cast and the crew, and that's how all my friends pretty much came from, is from theater.
I think I've gotten a little bit better with managing my time. Last year was a little rough because I just had so much work to do and it was so abrupt. I was just like, well, what do I do? But I've definitely gotten better this year managing my schedule and my time. And I think I've gotten a little bit better at problem solving too, but when it comes to relationships and friendships, it's gotten a lot better. And just overall, I've had a better experience moving forward through my college years.
I feel like I changed a lot, especially like with responsibility and figuring out what I want to do. Sometimes I, back in high school, would just like do as many things as possible and put myself in situations like I would go do the things I want to do, but I'd overwork myself. And one thing is just like taking the responsibility to also leave time to give myself a break and be able to rest while also doing the things I like, so I don't overtire myself and overwork.
When I first came here, I was very like introverted. Like, I'm the type of person where it's like, until you get to know me, I'm an introvert. But once you get to know me, I'm like an extrovert. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But like when I first got here, I felt very like within my own shell, because I was too afraid to like say like hi to someone and like be like, oh, they might not like me, or like, you know, like I didn't have a lot of friends in my classes and I was afraid to say anything to anyone. I was like, I'm the type of person where it's like, you come and approach me and like it'll be okay. But like when you have that mentality, it's like, well, you're waiting for someone to approach you, but no one, if you don't say anything, no one ever will. There's no life in that. You need to like crack out of your shell. And I was like, So now I think definitely I became more extroverted, but and just, really broke down any barriers that I had to just let the campus see who I am. Because if they don't like me, so what? I'd rather find the people that do like me because I did show up and I did show my true colors versus hiding behind hoping and praying someone's going to talk to me.
I would say that a lot is going to change that you did not expect, but don't be afraid because everything's going really well and you're going to go through some hard things and it's going to not only test your situations, but your my faith has been tested a lot, but overall I've just gotten stronger and I've learned a lot more. But yeah, I would just say don't get scared when things start to happen and you start to get stressed out. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be resolved in the end.
If I could talk to my freshman year self, I would probably tell him to maybe get a little bit more involved. Freshman year me was involved but not super until my second semester. So I would say get out there, get more involved, maybe try and audition for more shows and just get out and meet more people.
I would say it gets better, but it also gets harder. I know freshman me, I remember I wrote myself a letter saying how much I missed high school because I missed my friends and I missed the activities and the sports that I did because I was so afraid if I joined a club or if I joined a sport or if I said something too loudly that someone was going to notice me and not like what they see. So I was afraid to do things, and when in high school I was so used to doing all these sports and clubs, and when I got to college I was just so scared for no reason. And I just would tell her it gets less scary. Being yourself is not a scary thing. It's easy to be yourself. It's harder to hide yourself than it is to show everyone what you are and let them decide. Don't pick for them.
I usually wake up my dorm, my roommate, and we get ready sometimes together, sometimes not, but we go and walk up this hill and we get breakfast, and then I usually have morning classes, which is 8 a.m., 9 a.m. But it varies every day, but I usually go to Upper and get breakfast every day. And then I come back to the dorm. After breakfast, I have my classes, and then I usually go back to the dorm, or I'll go to Starbucks and get a coffee. Back to the dorm, or sometimes I have classes. And I have classes at night a few times a week too. And I have a bunch of clubs throughout the week as well. And then after that, I just go back to my dorm and call it a night.
A normal day for me this semester, I usually go and I walk up this hill from Willow all the way to Upper Commons. And I grab breakfast, and then I usually head to my morning class, which I have every day of the week, a morning class either at 9 or 9:30, and then that kind of starts my stretch of long classes, depending on which day. So I'll have lab some days after my morning class, or I'll just have multiple other classes, and I'll do those, then I'll head back to Willow, head back to my dorm, kind of relax and hang for a bit, and then I'll start doing some work and kind of end my day there.
I usually wake up, get ready and stuff, and then we do some more studying or some homework. I'll go to class. Most of my classes are back to back, but most of my days start my one class, and I go to the next class, and then I'll go to the next class. And around 1 o'clock, I'll eat lunch at Lower. And then if I have a class after lunch, I'll go to my next class. But most days I don't have class after lunch, so I'm hanging out with friends until it's time for me to either go to theater or to work. And then I'll just grab dinner, go home, do some studying, some homework, and just go to bed.
Well, I usually try to make sure I have a schedule. I have a checklist of things that I need to do, but I try to have the same routine. Like, I try to go to breakfast every morning and get lunch.
I try to balance it by doing my work and school-specific stuff during the day and kind of resting in the afternoon until like after dinner. And then after dinner I kind of just lock in and do my work, and that's kind of how I balance it, and then I go to sleep.
I usually hang out with my friends when it's time to eat, because everyone's got to eat. So I'll see them around then, and then sometimes I'll stay in upper for a little while longer to just chat with them. That's usually when I see my friends. And I do my best to get the full 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, Gotta make sure you can cram everything in before the night of an exam or something. But yeah, I think it's definitely important. I'm just not the best at it.
Well, for me, I'm a very spiritual person, so I like to read my Bible and pray. So that usually helps me get through it. And then I'll also try to connect with some people at home and just talk to them, call my family and my friends. But yeah, those are the two things I usually do.
Just hanging out with my friends kind of gets me through it. Going to dinner every day, I always meet up with my friends, and that always brightens my day and gets me through a stressful moment, or just finding rest inside my dorm room. That's kind of where I can be stress free.
I think my best way, when I'm stressed out, is to talk it out. I'll call my mom pretty much every night, most nights at least, and I'll be like, all right, I'm really stressed out, but this one class, last week, I was really close to dropping one of my classes, and I was freaking out about it. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know if it was worth me staying in the class, or if I was just so pent up anxiety and stress from that class. So I pick up the phone and I call my mom and I talk it out with her. I'm like, so here's my pros, here's the cons, and ultimately I made a decision on my own. But my best way of decompressing is to talk it out, put everything up in front of yourself, and just say what you need to be said. And then once that's out, you can decompress. You go to bed, or you put on a movie, read a book. So you get rid of all the stress and say it to the world, put it out there, and then you take a little break, and then you try to work at it piece by piece. My first step was I emailed my professor. I was like, hey, this is where I stand in the class, and I need to know that my stress is worth being here. And that's what I did, and I ended up staying in it. So, see.
I usually try to just push through all the work that I have to get done. And sometimes I'll do a little bit of reading too to just help calm my brain. But yeah.
When I'm feeling homesick, I kind of take time to go out and walk around campus or take in the scenery. And I also just kind of get in touch with my family. A recent big help has been my big sister, who I've been talking to a lot recently and stuff about work and just helping, because she works for a different school, SNHU, and so getting her help for things and stuff has been huge.
Again, calling my mom and my brothers. I like to call my family a lot. I'm very much a family-oriented person, so I'll call my mom every day, call my brothers, and that really helps me stay grounded and they're waiting, they're home, they're living their life, and I'm here living my life, but Like, nothing has changed. I mean, maybe they picked up a new hobby or whatever. Nothing, like, emotionally has changed, and it keeps me feeling good, because I still have contact with them, but it's not like they're completely cut out of my life. So just calling up my family makes me feel much closer to them, and I'll text my hometown friends, like, every so often, almost every day sometimes. So it's like, the connections that I thought I was gonna miss, I don't need to miss, because they're still there. And, you know, if I ever do feel homesick, sometimes I'll just, you know, look at some old pictures and be like, oh, you know, that's who I was, and that's who I still am, but the connections are never gone, because I keep contact, and that's great when you have a phone.
Well, this room is important to me because it's definitely a very nice, like, safe space for me, I feel like. Last year I didn't feel, like, totally comfortable in my dorm because I wasn't super close with my roommate, but this year, like, my room and I are really close.
This place is important to me because it's kind of where I have one of my favorite clubs to go to, and one of my favorite places to be, because it's nice and chill. It has the stage and it has a dance studio.
You see these things that you were working on, you spent time on, come to life in here. I mean, in lecture, you just kind of like talk about it. You do equations, you do all this work, and then when you're in here, you actually get to see what you were working towards and see if it works or not. And I think that's really thrilling. So being in here makes me feel like I really am. It reinforces why I want to be an engineer, why I want to work in the STEM field. It's like you putting all in the work and the math and all these, and like the science that you use to build something. It's like, it's really special when you get to see it work. And if it doesn't work, you know, you go back to the drawing board and you try it again. And it's like, that's the most exciting thing about being in STEM, is that, like, you test something, if it doesn't work, you do it again. You keep doing it again until you discover that this works and this is what you're looking for. And I think being in here really enforces this, like, environment of, you know, trial and error, and you using your skills and using your math and your science and everything that you did to make this one thing. And if it works, the energy is just unmatched.
And it's just, I feel so much more comfortable just doing homework in my dorm, and like sleeping in my dorm is really nice. Obviously, we made it look really cute too, and it's just kind of like everything I wanted in like my own space. So yeah, I really like it here.
This place makes me comfortable because I love the stage and the performing arts, and I've done like dance and stuff, so like having a studio also really helps below. And then we have this hangout area that was recently added, which is also really comfortable to like chill and hang out.
This place is comforting because I just spend a lot of time in here as like doing my work, and they really tend to make this place like a little homey with all like little couches and little seating units. So like it's really fun to just like, you know, sit in here and like grab your lunch, do your homework, and maybe see your friend walk past and like maybe chat with them. But like this place, it's a lab. If anything, it's just a giant lab where you can create and build things. Like downstairs, they're building a house. Like, where can you build a house on this campus? And they're building it inside this building. I think that's like the coolest thing ever. Is just like watching things come to life in this building. We're not building Frankenstein in here, but like we're building things that are working and that we can eventually use later on in life. Is this like fundamental things that we learned, and the excitement of like making all these things and testing them. It's really comforting because it reinforces the idea.
Well, my first answer has to be God, of course, but also my friends help me a lot. Definitely some groups that I'm a part of too, like Christian Student Fellowship, like I mentioned earlier. And sometimes my family too, that definitely help. But yeah.
For here, I feel like honestly the people make me feel supported. Everyone's so kind at Stageco, which is the stage company here at Roger Williams. And I just feel supported by all of them. Everyone has like different majors. There's some people in my major of forensic science that I can always talk to or relate to that can help me, and so I feel supported in that way.
My friends really help me feel supported, you know. I love talking to them about anything and everything. So if I ever have a problem, I just go to them. They'll help me talk it through. I really do like talking to my advisor. My advisor this semester is also my professor, so that helps too. But I've had 2 advisors here since I've been here, and my first advisor is now my boss, and my second advisor is also my professor. So like, I feel like they like talking to them about like the struggles I might have in the class, or like if I'm on the right path. Like it makes me feel better about myself that like someone is there to like, you know, give you a hand if you need it. And there's always so many people you can ask for help here. Like personally, I'm a peer mentor, so if I ever need help with something, I'll ask another peer mentor. Like, maybe not be the same major, but like if it's like a social question or just a regular question in general, I work with people who might have the answer, so I always will turn to like another peer mentor if I ever have a question.
One thing I've been working on is definitely like putting my faith in God more, just because I realize that helps me so much get through some tough processes and tough things going on with school and friends. But that's really just like helped me grow a lot more.
From where I started and where I am right now, I am still, I think, working on procrastination and just like being more responsible with my schoolwork and time outside of school.
Like getting pretty good grades, I would get straight A's, you know. I come from a family where it's like, it's really important to get straight A's and to get like the good grades. And I came into college with that. I had very high expectations for myself. And like, now that I say these things out loud, I'm like, wait, these might not even be like humanly possible. Like on paper, the expectations I made for myself might be like achievable. But when you consider the fact that I am human and that I make mistakes and that I am a person in society, that it's like, those things I made for myself is very like almost unachievable humanly. So coming to terms with that, I've had to, especially this semester, I've been trying to come to terms with that, and it's just been, you know, it's hard to come to terms with it, but then you also realize that like everyone has their own path. I mean, like that's what I keep telling to myself when things get hard, is that like everyone has their own path. Everything happens for a reason, and if you need to take up a class and you need to redo it maybe over the summer, that's fine. It happened. You tried and you did it, and maybe it didn't go out your way, but you did it, and now you just need to follow your path. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it is and how much stress you put on yourself, not everyone is the same. Nobody is perfect, and you just need to work your way through it and, you know, find your path. And your path is not going to be the same as the person sitting next to you in your calculator.
Well, I hope it's really fun, of course, and I hope that I learn a lot more and I can prepare myself for the future too, and get myself ready for a good career in accounting. And I really hope that I can like make a lot more good, deep friendship connections as well, and just carry those through the rest of my life after college too. So I don't want to just leave it all behind and pretend like it never happened.
More active endeavors, and also just like more responsibility. I do think that I'm going to like meet new people that are amazing, and you know, just to get to know everyone else better.
I want my college experience to be like fulfilling and rewarding. I don't want it to just be me sitting in my dorm studying every night. Like that is, I do need that, and I do that, and I will continue to do that. But I also am here and I'm living life while I'm here. It's not like everything's put on hold for like the next 2 years of my life because I'm at college. No, like I'm living my life while at college, and I want to continue doing that. So I want it to be full of the ups and the downs of being an engineer and being a student away from their family. But I also want to be full of joy and laughter and fun with my friends and enjoying the work I do. Because if you don't enjoy what you do, then what's the point of pursuing that degree? So I just want it to be full of the highs and the lows of what it means to be a student here, and just, enjoy every moment of it while I'm here.
College isn't just a stop along the way, it leaves a mark. In the small moments, the hard ones, the ones we don't talk about, in the laughter, the quiet, the uncertainty, we are changing here, even when we don't notice it. Maybe the real work is not just learning the material, but learning ourselves. College shapes us in ways we don't always see. Maybe the real lesson here is becoming who we're meant to be.